As if you don't know, it's a hell of a show. As if you don't know.
Hey guys, what is going on? It's your man, Lee Sanders, and I am back with you all for another fantastic album review. As this go round, we are tackling Jerry Cantrell, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter from Alice in Chains. He is back with his fourth solo album titled I Want Blood. It is hard to believe, y'all, but it's been 6 years since Alice in Chains' last release, which was Rainier Fog. And in that time frame, Jerry Cantrell has put out not one, but now 2 solo albums. Go back to 2021's BRIGHTEN, which we reviewed right here on this channel. You can find it in our albums playlist section. Highly recommend you guys go and check that one out. He put that out there, felt pretty good about that album, riding off of that momentum, hooked up with some friends, went back into the studio, and now we have this new release, I Want Blood. And this go round, we find Jerry Cantrell jamming with some friends. I mean, man, listen to this playlist here as far as people he's got helping him out here. He tapped into the services of Robert Trujillo of Metallica, Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses and Velvet Revolver, Jill Sharon, who played for Marilyn Manson, Stolen Babies, and Ozzy Osbourne. But probably one of Jerry Cantrell's greatest weapons for producing this album comes from Bud Ludwig. Bud Ludwig masters this album while Cantrell serves as producer. Now, Ludwig's name should sound familiar to you all because he's worked with many artists that stretches back many decades. I'm talking Led Zeppelin, Lou Reed, Metallica, Jimi Hendrix, Bruce Springsteen, just to name a few. Keep in mind, he retired in 2023, but the fact that he loaned himself out to help Cantrell, you can't help but wonder, if you have not checked out this album yet, if what you're about to tap into hearing is a masterpiece of a album. So, is I Want Blood a classic album? The short answer, folks, is yes. It is a resounding yes. If I had only one complaint about this album, it's the fact that it is short. It's coming in at 46, 47 minutes long. And during that whole journey, you experience 9 tracks. I wanted more. Now, I know there is a soft-spoken deluxe edition of this album that's floating around where you get the 9 main tracks and then you get on another side all the songs again, but it's stripped down. It's just spoken word. Maybe that might whet you all's appetite a little bit more, but for me, I just wanted to hear a few more tracks. It's interesting, when I think about I Want Blood and I compare it to 2021's BRIGHTEN, I think we all can be in agreement. BRIGHTEN had more of a slow down country type of pace that honestly, for some Alice in Chains fans, you go, well, Jerry, this is nice and all, but what we really want is the hard, heavy hitting stuff. That's what we really want. And it feels that with I Want Blood, Jerry pretty much goes all in going, okay, you guys want me to go back to doing what I essentially have done best? Well, I'm gonna hook you guys up this go round. This album definitely taps into rock, hard rock aspects, little bit of country rock mixed in there as well, because you know Jerry's got that country little twang about him. You definitely feel it on this album, but at the same time, it is more of a heavier, darker album compared to BRIGHTEN. It's interesting too because I found myself in checking out this album, a lot of the songs on here screams Alice in Chains. You're just listening to them going, yo, this would have been great if we would have been able to hear William Duvall co-vocals, or just picturing Duvall lead on key songs and everything. And I definitely want to show some love. Normally, what we do on this channel is we break down track by track by track of each album. But man, I found myself in a rarity of a position where I go, yo, this whole album just kicks ass from beginning to end. I actually had to jot down the names of the tracks and just really try and scrutinize, okay, what stands out to me the most from this album. And again, it was really hard to do because every single track on this album kicks major ass. But I love how the album opens up with Vilify. Great opening guitar riffs, haunting chorus as well. Loved it. That's one of my favorite standout tracks. Not to mention there is a music video for that one. From there we go into Off the Rails. Another key track from this album I felt was the third track, Afterglow. Love that, love that. Of course, I Want Blood, the fourth track, which is a punkish, popish type of song. You get that vibe of The Cure and The Cars as you're listening to this track. I really love that one. My personal favorite, the most standout track of this entire album, Echoes of Laughter. This track alone screams Alice in Chains for me personally, and is the definitive track, one of two definitive tracks from this album. From there, throw me A Line. Another key standout track, another marquee track I find is track 7, Let It Lie. Very heavy track, definitely stands out, much like Echoes of Laughter. Rounding about, Held Your Tongue. And then we slow things down drastically with a slow ballad titled It Comes. Very slow, and it's kind of interesting to hear Jerry Cantrell in this album on such a very slow note, because the incredible journey that you've been on listening to it, you're just assuming for sure we're going to be going out on something pretty fast paced or whatever. But it kind of seems that he's taken his cue from what he did with the very last track on the BRIGHTEN album. Shout out if you remember, but if you don't, I'll give you guys a little bit of fun trivia. Think Elton John. And he kind of follows that tradition up with the last track, It Comes. But overall, a great album. Loved it. It makes me want more Alice in Chains. I gotta admit to you guys, it did not feel like, and those that have followed the career of Jerry Cantrell, you've checked out all his solo albums. You remember Degradation Trip. You remember Boggy Depot. And this album, just as a whole, it screams, okay, Jerry Cantrell, the great journey that he's been on as a solo artist, he's definitely matured. The maturity in the songwriting, the musical arrangements from Boggy Depot compared to this latest release, it is night and day. He's matured big time. But it's his best outing yet as a solo artist, I personally feel. Now, some of you guys may be going, well, Lee, I don't particularly care for the Jerry Cantrell solo stuff. This is one of those rare times where I would encourage you guys, no. Go check out this album. You won't be disappointed. But for those of you that's interested in whetting your appetites a little bit with some Alice in Chains, for those of you that want to know what's going on with the future of Alice in Chains, Jerry Cantrell has said in a recent series of interviews that that's his first love. As far as his loyalty goes, he's always going to remain loyal to Alice in Chains. That is still intact. No issues with the bandmates whatsoever. But at the same time, he's admitted that in regards to this latest solo album, he's going to do everything he can to support it for at least a year. And then he's going to take a month or two off. And then in regards to Alice in Chains, he's going to get back with the boys, see what's up. To quote him, pretty much, they've got some iron in the fire. So they are working on some stuff. It's just right now, it's all about the solo stuff. So, scale of 1 to 10, 1 being crap, 10 being awesome sauce, I'm going to give Jerry Cantrell's I Want Blood album a 8.25 out of 10. Again, my biggest gripe, I wish we had a couple of more tracks. So if you're looking at it from a grading scale, I would give this album a respected B+. I can't go any higher. I'm definitely not going to go any lower. Hey, what did you guys think about Jerry Cantrell's I Want Blood? Sound off and let me know. But let me tell you something. I enjoyed this album so much. I was curious to see if Jerry Cantrell was going to be coming out here to the DC metropolitan area sometime in 2025. And he is. He's actually going to be coming to the Fillmore. So I actually ended up getting the cheapest ticket I could find, which was general admission, about $75. So I'm going to be seeing Jerry Cantrell, first time ever. I'm going to be seeing him live in person at the Fillmore coming up February of 2025. I hope that I get to see some of you all there. And if not at that event, I hope some of you guys that ended up listening to the album and you appreciate my review, not only will you let me know what you thought about the album, but hopefully you'll also let me know if you're going to be checking him out in your neck of the woods when he comes out on tour. If it's your first time here, welcome. Do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content that comes your way on a weekly basis as we upload multiple times a week. And if you appreciated this review, please smash that like, share, really helps out a great ton. You can get at me all throughout social media by using the keywords, the RCWR Show. And until next go round, my pretty babies, I'm wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I'll see you all next go round with another album review. Take care, y'all. Peace.